You are watching Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. CelJaded here, playing Tuesday, week 1 of March 2006 on the Shifting Sands mod. Folks, the build towards WrestleMania 22 has begun in earnest. A huge show on the last episode of this series. Episode 20 was an episode of Monday Night Raw, and we had the best rated Raw, the best rated show, should I say, of any show on this series so far. So do go back and watch that if you missed it. It was excellent top to bottom, and as I said, really started to heat things up ahead of the Supercard WrestleMania, which will be occurring in 1 month of game time, week 1 of April 2006 that will be. So a lot of storylines to get matured, ready for that time, and we are riding the momentum of that incredible episode of Raw right through here to SmackDown, with a tremendous opening segment rating here from The Undertaker, who says William Regal has a death wish and the dead man will grant that wish tonight. So the last time we saw The Undertaker, William Regal was calling him a coward after The Undertaker had just offered to do William Regal a favour by walking away from this situation between both of them. But yeah, Regal just had to use that C word, didn't he? The coward word, I should say. William Regal called The Undertaker a coward, and that is not sitting well with the dead man, who is saying that he wants William Regal out here tonight. They're going to settle this before we even get to WrestleMania. Let's do it right here, right now. So The Undertaker waiting now for William Regal to answer the challenge that he has just made. And here he is, William Regal is out here, and he is more than happy to accept this challenge, and more than happy to throw down with The Undertaker right now. It's what he's been waiting for weeks, one would think. But we have an interruption by none other than Finlay, who interrupts here. Finlay saying that he heard someone talking about a fight, and where there is a fight, Finlay is not far away. And it just so happens that the man that is talking about this fight is the man that eliminated him from the Royal Rumble, The Undertaker, of course. So Finlay says to William Regal, get in line. You are going to get behind me on this occasion, because if there is a fight with The Undertaker, then I want that fight, and it will be no holds barred. So Finlay and Regal here kind of eyeing each other up, and William Regal with a little bit of a nostalgic bow as he kind of steps aside and is more than happy to let Finlay wear The Undertaker out for him, and maybe soften him up. So the canny operator Regal here knows what he's doing. He is going to let Finlay settle his own issue with The Undertaker first. So as we said, it was The Undertaker who eliminated Finlay in very, very fast fashion in the Royal Rumble match. Finlay has not forgotten about this. He's been seething about it ever since, and he has been waiting for his opportunity to get his own back on The Undertaker, and it seems like that opportunity has come tonight. So in our main event, if these two men get their way, it will be The Undertaker versus Finlay in a no disqualification match, where we'll really let those two men exercise their brawling capabilities. So looking forward to that one as the show marches towards its main event. And good stuff here from all three men to open SmackDown. Exactly what we wanted, as we said, to ride the high of momentum and get things really polished up for WrestleMania. But before we get there, of course, we have got a lot more of SmackDown to come, and we have Shane McMahon out next. And he is talking to Kid Cash and Jamie Noble backstage here, and informing both men that they have a qualifying match for the tag title unification match at WrestleMania, and that match is coming up next. So Kid Cash and Jamie Noble have an opportunity here to get into that WrestleMania match, which will be deciding brand new undisputed tag team champions, as we are planning to unify both belts, both sets of belts, the World Tag Team Championships and the WWE Tag Team Championships. And Shane McMahon, of course, here throwing his weight around and abusing his authority a little bit by getting his two buddies an opportunity here to qualify for that huge tag title match at WrestleMania. So Kid Cash and Jamie Noble looking very pleased with Shane McMahon here, getting themselves a really kind of important match, and we're going to get to that match right now. And unfortunately for Jamie Noble and Kid Cash, it is the Hooligans, the team of Brian Kendrick and Paul London, of course, getting the win when JB Noble is rolled up there by Paul London following the interference from Psicosis of the Mexicals. So you could probably have guessed something like this happening. And as Paul London and Brian Kendrick kind of celebrate in retreat here, back up the rampway, looking very pleased with themselves. They have made it. They have qualified for this match, whatever format it ends up taking. They have qualified. They are through. They are over the moon here, having won this huge match. And after we have a brawl erupting in the ring because the Mexicals, as we saw, they have interfered, and here is Shane McMahon now getting on the apron, kind of directing traffic as Kid Cash and JB Noble kind of duking it out now with the Mexicals. Remember that the Mexicals were put through hell by Shane McMahon and his buddies at No Way Out, and they are finally back and ready to take revenge in the only way that they know how, by upsetting Shane McMahon's plans and generally being a right royal pain in the ass. So we've got a brawl here, and Shane McMahon absolutely livid, as he always is when the Mexicals get in his business. And Shane McMahon here, he's got a microphone. He's about to say something when, yes, Randy Orton appears and lays out everyone with a steel chair. Everyone. Kid Cash, Jamie Noble, the whole Mexicals, and maybe there's an RKO thrown in there for a good measure, but Randy Orton has just cleared the ring all by himself with a steel chair. He has just gone absolutely nuts here, and Shane McMahon cannot believe what he is seeing. And Randy Orton snatches that mic right out of Shane's hands and dismisses Shane McMahon from the ring apron, and Shane doesn't need to ask twice, doesn't need to be told twice, should I say, and quickly scurries to the back with his buddies to leave us with the man himself, Randy Orton. And Randy Orton here, a chair that he kind of throws to the ground now in anger, and he says that he is through playing games on this show. No kidding. So get Dave Bautista out here right now. Randy Orton has demanded the presence of the World Heavyweight Champion, and he is not taking no for an answer. He wants Dave Bautista out here right now because he has something to get off his chest. And here he is. Batista is here. And Randy Orton now taking an opportunity as Dave walks to the ring to absolutely skewer this man on the mic, calling him every name under the sun, saying how he's not fit to be champion. Randy Orton's the Royal Rumble winner, that he wants Dave Bautista at WrestleMania for that World Heavyweight Championship. This is it, folks. We are building this, and we are not being coy about it anymore. This is the match that these two men are ready for. This is the match that we are advertising. Randy Orton versus Dave Bautista for the World Heavyweight Championship. Batista here grabs a mic of his own, and he is firing back and giving just as good as he got here against Randy Orton. And ultimately, this leads to a fight, a brawl in the ring. Officials are on the scene, holding these two men apart. They don't get many real good punches in, and nothing definitely gets settled here. But Randy Orton and Dave Bautista have taken over SmackDown, it would seem, with their animosity. And you can only imagine what's going to happen that the next time that these two men come face to face, because they have made a huge impact here, exactly as we wanted them to. Again, ahead of this WrestleMania match that now is slowly coming into focus. So great stuff from all guys here. Really good segment for SmackDown. And then we're going to move on with something a little bit lighter, because that's right, ladies and gentlemen, Stacy Keibler is back. She is back from filming, and yes, we have a spot for Stacy Keibler on this show. We could use another story to kind of round things out a little bit. So let's get started, and here it is. So Stacy Keibler is quick to mark out here upon seeing Akira Hokuto training in the back, and she offers the woman a handshake, whereupon, unfortunately for her, Akira ignores her. So here we go. Stacy Keibler here, making a return. Well, maybe a little bit rusty, but don't worry. I'm sure we'll get Stacy back into shape on the mic for next time. She has been away for a while, so you can give that a little bit of leeway. But yes, Stacy Keibler is back. We're immediately thrusting her into a little story here, and Stacy Keibler really looking up to Akira Hokuto recently. She's been following her recent work. She's familiar with the woman, and she is just thrilled to meet Akira Hokuto, of course, who was successful in a big match, a big women's tag team match at No Way Out. So Stacy Keibler here really kind of idolizing Akira, really looking up to her, and is eager to make friends. But Akira, stalwart vixen that she is, has no time, unfortunately, for Stacy Keibler on this occasion. So a brand new story here for SmackDown. We'll see how it goes on this one, but definitely keen to use more of Akira after having some good success with her in the previous storyline with Melina. And who knows, maybe we're not quite done, like I said, between those two. But nonetheless, we have Stacy Keibler and Akira here in a nice little segment that hopefully we'll be able to get up to scratch in future episodes of SmackDown. So good stuff from both ladies. And speaking of ladies, here is Melina with the WWE Tag Team Champions, and it is Eminem here talking about the tag titles unifying in that match at WrestleMania that we're still waiting to kind of hear what the format is going to be for, of course. But Eminem making the point here that they should already be undisputed champions because they are just that good. So Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury here, they are not wrestling tonight, but they are feeling very, very confident about their chances at WrestleMania. Now, one has to imagine that if they can keep hold of their titles before that supercard, that they will be automatically inserted into that match at WrestleMania, and that certainly looks like the plan so far. They're not being asked to qualify for any match. We are just going to assume that they are the champions. They will be involved in some capacity. But for now, Melina putting over her men, and soon going to be putting over herself, because she is going to be in the ring wrestling next, and that is a match we're going to get to in the very next segment. Okay, so Melina, a little bit off her game on this occasion, unfortunately, but still not a terrible segment rating by any means. It is Melina getting the win over Ayako Hamada in just our latest match, pitting Melina against the Joshi Squadron and getting her some time in the ring and some experience with some very capable workers. So, as we said, Melina a little bit off her game on this occasion, which was disappointing. But overall, the performance ratings there under 50. We still topped out here with a segment rating of 50. So it tells me that popularity-wise, Melina is still kind of where we want her to be, and hopefully her ring skills will follow in time with more matches like this. So a decent effort, all things considered. And then after the match, we have got another segment here, a little bonus, where Aja Kong comes out, and we haven't seen her since No Way Out, if you remember, after Melina kind of contracted Kong to join her team in a losing effort, unfortunately, in an 8-woman tag team match at No Way Out. And Aja Kong here confronts Melina during her celebration, and Aja Kong does not look happy with Melina. So what is the deal here? We're not sure, but Aja Kong kind of got some very stern words for Melina, and Melina looking very disconcerted at this. So what the deal is here between these two, we are not sure, but it doesn't look good for Melina if Aja Kong continues to have that look on her face, because, she did not look happy. So, good stuff anyway from Melina as we march on with SmackDown, and this time we are with The Miz, Mike The Miz Mizanin here, who is in the same segment as Matt Hardy, but for once there is not a fight. It is Matt Hardy here who's kind of making his case once again that he wants a rematch with The Miz, and he has agreed that he's going to keep in control of himself. He is going to be a businessman, and he's going to have a level head, and he is just saying, look, Miz, you and I have got some unfinished business. We need a rematch, and I want it soon. So The Miz here, alongside Trinity, and kind of conferring with his manager Trinity there for a few seconds. And The Miz says to Matt Hardy, well, he's Cruiserweight champion now. And yeah, he had a match on the pre-show where he was defending his Cruiserweight Championship against Scotty 2 Hotty in a successful defense, which was good. And we might get a little bit of footage of that in this segment. And Miz saying that, look, Matt Hardy, you can see for yourself, I'm a defending champion now. I represent the Cruiserweight division here in the WWE, so I'm afraid that I can't face you right now. I have got a commitment to this title, to be a fighting champion, with Trinity by my side, of course. So unless, Matt Hardy, you cut some weight, there won't be a rematch. And kind of Miz kind of making the point here, if you looked at yourself in the mirror lately, Matt Hardy, you ain't exactly a cruiserweight anymore, pal. This is 2006. You're not the Matt Hardy of old. Matt Hardy, yeah, kind of has to agree that he does not qualify for cruiserweight status anymore since maybe the 2003 era. So a long time since Matt Hardy has been a cruiserweight. But that is what Miz is saying to him. That Matt, if you want a rematch with me, and if you're that kind of intense about getting the Miz in the ring, then I'm afraid that's not going to be possible unless you're a cruiserweight and you challenge for this cruiserweight championship. So Matt Hardy here, kind of in a bit of a bind, and is kind of having some thoughts to himself. And Trinity looking very pleased here that her man The Miz has just once again put the screws to Matt Hardy. No doubt with a little assist from her own mind, of course. So Matt Hardy here with some things to think about as The Miz looks very pleased with himself. And we march on with SmackDown. So good stuff from all three there. And speaking of good stuff, here is Bobby Lashley, who is still buzzing about his victory over Mark Henry the last time he wrestled on SmackDown, of course. But Bobby Lashley is here to talk statistics. Because if you've been keeping track, yeah, that's right. Bobby Lashley and Mark Henry now have one victory apiece over each other in singles competition. And Bobby Lashley is making the point now that a rubber match is needed. He is demanding a rubber match now that him and Mark Henry are 1-1. It's about time that we decided once and for all who the better man is, who the strongest force is in WWE between him and Mark Henry. So we await to hear Mark Henry's response to this, but Bobby Lashley has thrown it down. He recognises that Mark has a win over him. He now has a win over Mark. It is time that they settle this with a rubber match once and for all. So strong words here from Bobby Lashley. Good segment rating from him. Good stuff as SmackDown rolls on. And now we are here with Paul Burchill, who says he'll see Rey Mysterio after winning the next match. And Mysterio just tells him to bring it. So this is a continuation of the stories in the United States Championship tournament, of course. So Rey Mysterio involved in that tournament. As we know, he qualified last time we saw him, or should I say that he advanced through the tournament last time we saw him. Paul Burchill now has his first round match in the tournament as well. And he is feeling so confident that he is already taunting Rey Mysterio, who, if he was to win this match, Paul Burchill would be facing Rey Mysterio in the second round match. So a lot on his mind as he goes into this match next against Animal, Road Warrior Animal. And that match we're going to get to right now. Okay, well, it is Paul Burchill getting the win here over Animal with a little bit of a cheeky leverage there from the ropes. So even though he had to cheat to do it, he has done it. Paul Burchill will be going to the second round. But unfortunately, it does not look like he will be wrestling a Road Warrior Animal again anytime soon, as it seems we have found another a negative chemistry warning, which is unfortunate. That will have inhibited this match quite a bit, but you know, sometimes that happens. Maybe with a little bit more experimentation in the pre-show slots, I could have learned some of these matchups beforehand. But nonetheless, Animal has been quite a reliable, surprisingly reliable hand on this save so far. But this match here against Paul Burchill turned out to be just a bridge too far on this occasion. So a disappointing rating for this one, considering the capabilities of both men. As we say, negative chemistry is a very tough nut to crack, and it's always going to have a major impact on a match rating. So yeah, while that is disappointing, the story is Burchill is through. And after the match here, he is taunting a fan at ringside before snatching their mask. So a Rey Mysterio fan at ringside wearing a Ray mask there. Paul Burchill kind of snatches the mask from the kid, and that prompts Rey Mysterio to make the save. So already we've got an issue kind of developing between these two men, and they will be facing each other the next time we see them in the second round of the United States Championship Tournament. So yeah, Paul Burchill, unfortunately, uncharacteristically struggling here without the script. Normally he's actually quite good on the entertainment stats, but on this occasion, a little bit of a disappointing performance from Paul. So he'll have to kind of brush up his skills a little bit if he's going to match Rey Mysterio the next time we see him on SmackDown. Okay, and now we are with Mark Henry, who is answering the call that Bobby Lashley put out earlier for the rubber match between both of them. And Mark Henry takes a second here to actually praise Bobby Lashley, because he says, Lashley, you know what, kid? You've got guts. I'll give you that. And Mark Henry is going to agree with Bobby Lashley as well, because he is also going to demand a rubber match to settle this beef between them. Mark Henry wants that rubber match with Bobby Lashley. And that could be the situation next time we see these two men. It could be the deciding match to Mark Henry versus Bobby Lashley to find out who the stronger wrestler between them is. But for now, we're just going to have to wait in anticipation to see how that match pans out. And next, we are with JBL, who talks about his success in the United States Championship Tournament so far. So we just saw Rey Mysterio and Paul Burchill, of course, and Road Warrior Animal, of course, in that losing effort, kind of forwarding the US title tournament. JBL here being asked for his opinion on the situation. And he is more than happy to give it. So a very disappointing rating, I will say here for this one. JBL, the one thing you can normally count on from him is a good promo, and it has been all the way throughout this series. But yeah, unfortunately, it seems to be a bit of a curse spreading throughout SmackDown at the moment, that even the best talkers are really struggling with their dialogue at the moment. So yeah, not what we wanted to see, unfortunately. JBL can do much, much better than this. But even then, 54, not the worst rating in the world. It just could have been so much better, John. Maybe next time. So we'll move on to the next segment now. And we are here, a much better segment actually, with Rey Mysterio telling the Mexicals to forget about Randy Orton. So we saw Randy Orton, of course, before attack the Mexicals with a steel chair. Hoovie's hot. Psychosis is mad. Super crazy, of course. Well, he's crazy. And they're kind of screaming kind of revenge at Orton here. But Rey Mysterio says, look, forget about that. Don't worry about that. That's just a smokescreen. You can take a steel chair shot. You're tougher men than this. Focus on what the real prize is. Shane McMahon got away from that without an ass kicking. You need to fix this situation, because he is the man that caused all of this. And if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have been put through that hell that you were at No Way Out. You need to challenge Shane, and you need to get him to sign on the dotted line to a match, a contracted match, where he can't have his cronies interfere, where you can get his buddies, Cash and Noble, exactly where you want them. No gauntlet matches, no chicanery, just a straight up tag team match to prove that you are the better team and that you deserve the spotlight just as much as Shane and his buddies do. And Shelly Martinez agreeing with this. The Mexicals, they need to close ranks here, and they need to find a way to get to Shane to agree to let his men, Kid Cash and JB Noble, face the Mexicals in a fair fight. So the plan is set, and we're just going to have to see if they can put it into motion. So good stuff here with the Mexicals and Rey Mysterio kind of dropping in for an assist, as he always is. It's not just matches, folks, that Rey Mysterio does a great job in. He'll be there for your angles as well when you need someone to add a little bit of heat. But nonetheless, we are now back with William Regal, who tells Finlay to leave him a piece of The Undertaker. And Finlay kind of staring at Regal here and says that he isn't going to promise anything of the sort, because Finlay is really looking forward to beating the hell out of The Undertaker if he gets his way. So Finlay has got it all to prove next. A real opportunity for him to showcase his skills here against The Undertaker. It is going to be a brawl as these two men face off in a no disqualification match. And William Regal kind of saying to Finlay that, as soon as you're done with The Undertaker, I want whatever's left. So Finlay and The Undertaker, it's coming up very shortly But before we get there, we've got one more segment, and it is The Undertaker with another promo here, and he is saying that William Regal didn't learn his lesson about respect, clearly. But now he's going to teach that lesson to Finlay first. He's going to lead by example. Old school is back in session, folks. The Undertaker is going to warm up with Finlay before he comes back for Regal later. And this is the match. It is The Undertaker and Fit Finlay in the main event slot here of SmackDown. No disqualification. So, this is the match. Let's get to it. Alright, so Finlay off his game, but that's okay, because when The Undertaker is putting in a performance that good, it really doesn't matter what his opponent's doing, because holy hell was that a good performance from The Undertaker. Brilliant stuff. A really positive segment rating there. Decent match that he dragged out of Finlay. But even with the no DQ rule in effect, Finlay held out as long as he could. But one choke slam later, The Undertaker, ladies and gentlemen, is your victor here in the main event of SmackDown. But nonetheless, a real good effort from The Undertaker here. Exactly a good match that we needed for SmackDown. But of course, you know it's not over yet, folks, because William Regal now appears on the big screen, seemingly from where he was earlier. And William Regal looks like he's dressed to leave the building here. And yet here he is on the big screen, taunting The Undertaker and saying, The Undertaker, if you still want to start something, I haven't left the building yet. I'm back here. You can come and get some, pal. And William Regal, once again, taunting The Undertaker, maybe even throwing the old C word in there. That's coward, ladies and gentlemen. Calling The Undertaker a coward. And The Undertaker has just been involved in a wild brawl here with Finlay, but he's got some left in the tank. And The Undertaker is walking with a purpose backstage right now as William Regal continues to kind of taunt him from the video screen. So Undertaker, he's heading backstage now, looking for William Regal. It's that old cliche. We've seen it many times before. Cameraman following Undertaker through the back, asking all the tech guys where Regal is, threatening people, and someone kind of points him to the back. And now Undertaker's out in the parking lot area. We've seen many angles like this before take place here. But what do we see next? Ladies and gentlemen, William Regal here on a motorcycle ambushes The Undertaker. We are talking like road rash style here. Speeds past on a motorcycle and hits The Undertaker with something. It happens so quickly. William Regal essentially just crashes a motorcycle into another human being. This guy has gone absolutely off the deep end here. William Regal has just taken The Undertaker out in such dramatic fashion. Speeds by, essentially drives by, and decks The Undertaker. And Undertaker is down and he is looking dazed. He's not sure what even hit him. But he is The Undertaker, of course. He still attempts that classic sit-up that he's known for. And William Regal here just steps off the bike, removes his motorcycle glove there, and reveals the brass knucks under that glove. And he takes another shot on The Undertaker while he's down, punches him right in the face, and Undertaker is not getting up after that. He has just taken two stiff shots. He's essentially just been run over with a motorbike here as The Undertaker, and William Regal kind of decked out as we saw, ready to leave. He's got his full motorcycle gear on here, and he kind of lifts up the helmet, and he stares at The Undertaker after delivering this blow with the brass knucks, and he just says to the man, right to his face, "Do you respect me now, you son of a bitch?" William Regal, folks, has really taken his shot in a big way, if he is willing to say that to The Undertaker. And there you have it, folks. William Regal flips the helmet back down, drops Undertaker's head, lifeless, it would seem, to the concrete floor. Someone screaming for help, for kind of medical help in the background. And William Regal just doesn't care. He gets back on that motorcycle, he puts that helmet back on, and he speeds away into the night. And our Chiron copyright information comes up on the screen, and Undertaker is left lying there in the parking lot, having just been taken out by William Regal. Busted or what? And that is the end of this episode of SmackDown. And wow, I gotta say, I was not expecting a rating that high with some of the segments where some of our workers were struggling, going off script once again. But hey, they did it. And they really lived up to our expectation after the last episode of Raw. Wasn't the blowaway show that Raw was, of course. We don't have an Edge or a John Cena kind of pulling for us on this show. But I gotta say, The Undertaker here deserves some serious props because I am sure that a good solid helping of that rating is down to that man. So hats off here to The Undertaker. William Regal as well, absolutely on fire right now as that program, and has really helped carry SmackDown to a very positive rating. Exactly what we want to see ahead of WrestleMania that will be coming up, as we said before, in 1 month, in week 1 of April. So this is just a taste of things to come, folks. But what a taste it has been. 2 absolutely brilliant shows here in the first week of March. I will be surprised if we can keep up this momentum because it is really, really heating up now, exactly as we need it to. So that is CelJaded for Tuesday, week 1 of March 2006 with another episode of SmackDown. The next time we come back will be with another episode of Monday Night Raw where the build to WrestleMania 22 continues. See you then.